Here.
Hello?
Have you checked the children?
They're all pots, all of them. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep. I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Here's Gingy.
Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. Gentlemen, I am pain.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
You think that when you die, you go to heaven. You come to us.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
I think it's trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
Greetings, Flesh Wound Radio freaks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Radio. I am Daniel Shine, joined, as always, by the man who makes your panties moist, Todd Loya. Todd, how goes it? Little Joel Gertner there, why not?
All right. Hey, well, be good or I'm going to play last week's Shark song again.
That's probably like what hell is like. It's just sitting there and listening to LL Cool J over and over.
Well, luckily now, if you listen to the show now, it has been shortened so that 7-minute opening while we were killing time has disappeared. So we should mention that show because it was a last minute show we did, and it'll explain why we're probably going to be a little shorter today, and we were a little shorter then. You want to fill people who may have missed it in?
Yes, Sunday we did have a Sharknado Week show. I was going to say, 7 days, 3 shows for us. I've been hanging out a lot. Today is the threesome edition, so you can go back and listen to the uncool threesome, unfortunately, but you can go back and listen to Sharknado Week. Great show this past Sunday, so don't miss it. Depending how you listen to us, don't mistake that for an older show because we just did it on Sunday, so reviewed some of the Sci-Fi Channel shark premieres. And so Todd, how goes it? I feel like this could be, well, at least your last show because, North Korea is getting ready to nuke your ass.
See, that's how far out of the loop I am. Are we getting nuked?
I think we're getting nuked, possibly. I don't know. I mean, on the bright side, you can finally, live out your post-nuke fantasies. Todd will just break out the leather cape and gas mask and, have his little basement full of radiated bitches and, you'll be fine.
I'm already ready to go.
They say it can hit California. I don't think so, but, I don't know. It's looking like we could have an event here soon, but hopefully you don't die, Todd.
If North Korea launched an ICBM missile, it would take roughly 20 minutes to reach Hawaii, 33 minutes to reach LA, 37 to reach Chicago, and 38 minutes to reach New York. Okay.
There you go.
Like some good old Fox News.
Well, yeah. Atlanta's not on there, so I feel good about that. But you may have to start hauling ass down here if things start looking bad. We can watch the end of the world live via TV. But yeah. Well, that's a serious note now. This is like our day after special edition now. I'm sorry, West Coast listeners. I don't think you're going to die. I mean, but, it could happen. And if you do, hopefully there will be, like, mutant frogs and, at least it'll be cool. A lot of people may die, but we got to get something. Zombies, giant fucking ants. If we're going to have nuclear war, we at least need that.
Exactly.
I was about to say three-titted alien, but that doesn't really make any sense. But I still want a three-titted alien. I know that makes no sense in nuclear war, but they can grow extra titties. I mean, it's possible. It makes sense. Not aliens, but, it makes sense. But yes, on that note, I'm sure you're all fine. I'm just being an asshole, as per usual. So we do have some news on the Hellboy reboot front. Mila Jovovich, I believe is technically how you say it, has been hired to play the Blood Queen in Neil Marshall's new Hellboy: Rise of the Blood Queen. She joins Ian McShane, who's playing Professor Bloom, taking over for John Hurt. And I don't know. A lot of people are bitching about this, but I like the director. I like the fact that they're going a different direction, going to be more of an R-rated horror type movie. I think Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy is fantastic. I like the second one a lot too, but I don't know. I'm happy to see this. I'm not pissed at this. I actually think this is going to actually be fairly decent. I don't know. Todd, we've never talked Hellboy with you. Are you a Hellboy fan?
I enjoyed the first two films. I mean, other than the films, I don't really follow, the comics or the animated stuff. But I do like the films.
Yeah, the graphic novels are actually really good. Yeah. Actually funny, though, I've met Ron Perlman. Dude's not very big. He's actually fairly short. He's not really what I kind of expected meeting him in person. I met him somewhere in between Hellboy and Hellboy 2. Cool dude, though. And more reboot news. Yes, I know everybody's groaning, but hey, it is what it is. The Munsters is getting a new reboot, which is ironic because some of you might remember, I know I was doing the show with Melissa at the time, and I reviewed Mockingbird Lane, which was going to be a spin-off that ended up just being a Halloween special. They played the pilot, I think. It might have been Halloween Day that year.
It was Halloween night.
Oh, there we go. There you go. Yeah. I don't really particularly like Jerry O'Connell as Herman. I did like Eddie Izzard as Grandpa. I thought that was kind of good. It's kind of hard to judge that, though, because, it was literally just a pilot. But the new reboot is going to be a half-hour single-camera show and will follow the Munsters as they try and fit in hipster Brooklyn. So, I don't know. It's going to be hard to really capture the proper feel, but I'm hopeful. I hope they really get a cast, though, that makes sense. You hopeful, Todd, or you think this is just going to be another short-lived?
I don't know. It's one of those things where, because I used to shit on the Munsters Today, their first reboot, and it's on Hulu, and I sampled the first few episodes of the first season, and it's not as bad as I remember. Far from perfect.
Did they release more than the pilot?
No, the Munsters Today, the first reboot.
Oh, you're going way back. Okay.
Yes, the one from the late 80s, early 90s, I want to say.
Okay, yeah.
It might have been 90s. It was kind of, like I said, it's not perfect, but it does kind of capture it just in a modern at the time feel, and even the later two reboots. Oh well, see, I don't even consider those two reboots. The two one-off movies they did weren't as bad as I remember.
The Christmas one, yeah.
and Here Come the Monsters.
Tim Curry.
Yeah.
I think was in one of those, I believe. Or no, was he? He might have been one of those Addams Family movies now. I think he was Addams Family, but yeah.
Okay, see, there you go. So, I mean, I'll give it a shot. Like, that last one, it was just done wrong. I mean, it's not, it wasn't the Munsters. I mean, they had the house and stuff, but, yeah. I think if you got to do it, you got to do it tongue-in-cheek and just, because I think the Munsters interacting with hipsters could be fairly humorous.
It could be. It could be. I mean, I think it'll be, I mean, not that I'm expecting anything, like, profane, but I think maybe it'll be a little more adult. I do think whoever they, irregardless of who they cast, I think they actually have to be in makeup. That's one thing that drove me fucking nuts about the last one. I was just like, what's the point? Where it's not fun. They're not, you know, that's not Herman. That's not, you know, it just, I didn't like that. But,
and that's what got it
pretty
wrong.
Good. And I should say Seth Meyers is behind this. I don't know, maybe he'll play a role. I don't know. So yeah. I'm excited to see it. I don't know. We'll see. As long as they do it right. Well, let's see. Another cool bit of news, because this is a movie. I know it's got a cult following over the years. It was a film that, I mean, I still love it, but I was absolutely in love with it when I saw it in theaters back in, '99, I believe it was. Idle Hands. The director of Idle Hands is returning to the zombie genre. Rodman Flender, who of course is known for not only Idle Hands, but also Leprechaun 2, The Unborn, some Tales from the Crypt episodes. And he is going to be directing the new teen zombie movie Eat Brains Love. And this one apparently is based on some novels, so it could be a franchise, and follows high schoolers Jake and his crush Amanda have contracted a mysterious zombie virus and devoured the brains of half their senior class. Now the two are on the run from Cass, a teen psychic sent by the government's top-secret necrotic control division to track them down. As Jake and Amanda deal with existential guilt of eating their best friends and set off in search of a cure for the zombie virus, Cass struggles with a growing psychic dilemma of her own, one that will lead all three of them on an epic journey across the country and make them question what it means to be truly alive or undead. I don't know about the teen part of it, but I think they picked the right guy to direct that one. I will see it just for that. Are you an Idle Hands fan, Todd? I almost know for a fact you have to be.
I am, yes, of course. Disappointed with the American Blu-ray, but I hear there's an Australian one that makes up for it.
Oh, really? You will have to PM me that, especially if it's region-free.
It is region-free. It is region-free.
Okay.
It's Australian. You can find it. It's not real cheap right now because there's no damn Australian Amazon. The one piece of news I did have. Did you see the release? Did you see the release of the, I don't know if I want to call it long-lost George Romero film, but did you see it getting shared around? Yes or no?
I did not, actually. I must have missed it. Share.
Okay, well, Mr. Rogers gets a tonsillectomy directed by George Romero. Yeah, so it's, you know.
Who's putting it out?
George's. No. It's legitimately a segment for Mr. Rogers.
Oh, shit. Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, what the fuck? I don't remember. Is this like some short film or something? Okay, there you go.
You remember how he worked in for.
Yeah, he did work for him. Yeah.
For was it PBS or? But that's how they did all their stuff. And yeah, he shot that segment, and it's been getting shared around quite a bit today. Is the exclusive.
Oh, wow. I will
it,
check
I believe. Found it.
I don't know how I missed that, although.
Well, I will put it on our page, so you can.
Okay, I will check it out.
Although,
George
Romero,
to me, the definitive Mr. Rogers is Jim Carrey from In Living Color. I'm just going to say that right now. Best segment ever was when he was buying pornography at the video store. I think that was my favorite In Living Color segment.
Yeah, that's good. I've got a soft spot for Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood on Saturday Night Live, though, with Eddie Murphy. So
I don't know. I actually think In Living Color was funnier on that one, but yeah. Probably Jim Carrey was never funnier than that. But yeah, I missed a lot today. I've been Halloween shopping. I've gotten and last bit before we get into our reviews tonight, I'll post some links for some cool stuff. I've been finding some cool random stuff for decent prices on Amazon, a lot of Halloween decorations, props. I don't know if it's just cheaper because I'm looking earlier than normal people, because for me, Halloween's starting now. It's like the little fuckers have gone back to school. It's Halloween season, damn it. I'm not waiting any longer to call it Halloween season. So, yeah. I got a really cool, it's a zombie head salt and pepper holder. I got it for like $15, and it's actually pretty damn cool. It's pretty intricate. It's really not cheap, to be honest. I'm looking at it now. It looks like a bargain, and I've noticed a lot of low prices. So I don't know. After this, I will share some of the links for you guys because I'm actually very happy with this one. So, Todd, anything else, or shall we get on with the show?
We shall get on with the show.
Sweet. So, as always, we're going to do our regular non-smut first. Smut is always the main event with us. So we do have Flesh Wound After Dark, but we have some, there's a little bit of smut in the movies too, the mainstream stuff, but nonetheless. So let's kick it off, why not, with Friend Request, which is, it's an early review here, although it is on UK Blu-ray region free, if you care to see it. I think, I know it's out September. I should have looked at the exact release date, but it is getting a wide theatrical. Oh,
I'm looking at the release date right now because I knew that's what you were going with. But speaking of the Blu-ray, yes, you can get it off Amazon UK, and they also had some copies available on Amazon US, but you're going to pay a little bit more. Okay, or a lot bit more. September 22nd, 2017. So we're a little, about 5 weeks ahead. Okay. So, yeah, you may, you'll see. I guess we'll see with the review whether you want to spend your theatrical dollar on this. But Friend Request is a film from director Simon Verhoeven, no relation to Paul. And this one follows enjoying college life as a popular student, Laura, Alicia Debnam Carey of Fear the Walking Dead, shares everything with her more than 800 friends on Facebook. But one day after accepting a friend request from a social outcast named Marina, Laura's life is cursed and her closest friends begin dying cruel deaths. Before Laura loses all of her friends, she must solve the mystery behind Marina's dark past and her Facebook profile in order to break the deadly spell. So, I remember seeing the trailer for this, and, I guess I saw it probably, It Comes at Night or something was when I first saw the trailer. And I was intrigued. It's one of those movies, it's like, okay, is this going to be lighter, teenage fare, or will this be edgy and because it deals with suicide, so it's a very kind of dark
premise, and I'm actually happy to say that this is not the light teen fare that I was expecting it to be. It is R-rated. It's not a gore fest per se, but there is some, horrific imagery and some pretty solid scares. I have a lot to say about it, but Todd, what did you think? Because I'm kind of curious to hear your thoughts on this.
Well, I can explain why it's not those things you thought it was going to be. Well, one, it's not American. They did a very good job of hiding that. It's a German film shot in,
German director. Is it really a German film, though?
It's a German film shot in South Africa.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, a German director, German film. Remember how there was that confusion on Unfriended that we kind of talked about? It was kind of their answer to that. Apparently, that was very popular in Germany. And to make it even more confusing, it was originally titled Unknown Error. Then it was renamed internationally to avoid confusion with Unfriended, as Unfriended was known by unknown user in multiple countries. So it's a whole, and it's kind of all twisted up together. But as the film itself, I dug it. I think I didn't actually know it wasn't. I knew it was German director, but I didn't know it wasn't an American film till after.
Mm-hmm.
They hid that quite well. But it's almost. I don't want to give too much away. It's got that Ringish part to it, are very Japanese. I don't know if I want to say the Ring, but I mean, it is. I don't want to say super. I'm trying to word this just right, without just saying, "Oh yeah, I liked it," which I did. And full disclosure, I have not seen Unfriended yet, so I can't tell how similar
I like
they
this
were.
better. They're not similar.
I kind of got
really.
that. Okay. I kind of got that vibe though, just because Unfriended seemed like such the teen fare you were just talking about, whereas this one didn't feel that. It felt, while not super graphic as you mentioned, it felt like a horror movie made for adults. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, even though we have teenage leads, which can always, skew.
Really, it's college, so it's not, because it's interesting. I was about ready to rag on this because Britt Morgan from True Blood's in it, and she's 31, I believe. She's my age. So I was like, please tell me she's not playing a high schooler. But yeah, no, you're right. It definitely doesn't have that feel. And one thing that really kills some of these movies at times, old cliche, but the younger actors sometimes don't even feel like real people. They're just, your standard cliche, and this didn't really feel like that. I am a Fear the Walking Dead fan, so Alicia Debnam Carey, I thought, was a fantastic lead. I thought Liesl Allers as Marina was really creepy, really fantastic. She had just really great facial expressions. I mean, you feel bad for her. She's very kind of sympathetic. I won't reveal too many plot twists here, but it's not a gore film, yet there's some very disturbing imagery, the deformed children, some of the internet videos. It really surprised me, because I've watched a lot of movies lately in theaters in particular, because it seems like we're getting a lot. It's really almost, in terms of theatrical releases, I should say, it's really gone back to almost like that late 90s period where we were only getting, teen type horror flicks. We're getting, Wish Upon and Bye Bye Man to a certain extent. And I'm happy to say this will appeal to teenagers because it's got the social media aspect and very timely, this whole suicide angle. It's a very true to life plausible plot up until the supernatural stuff kicks in. And I dug it. I did. I really dug it. And it has a great backstory on Marina.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things where it kind of sucks that it takes another country to deliver the goods that everyone's just too afraid to do in the U.S. now. I was trying to think about this the other day, and not to turn it into a side rant, but I am. It seems to me with,
go for
with
it.
The
We love
R
your
rating,
rants.
with the R rating, like just in general, it's slowly becoming the NC-17 of the modern era. It's like no one wants to touch it. Anything they can do not to get that rating so everybody can see it. Because you can't watch these Avengers movies and tell me, with the amount of people that die in those things and, that whole Marvel universe, that half of them should not get that R rating. But just because they don't show a tit or pop up the F-bomb twice, they're not. I mean, it's such a bullshit. Because you watch this film and really name one thing that's worthy of that R rating.
It's funny because actually that was only partially what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to bring up the point that this might be edited for a PG-13 here. I want to say it said it was R already in the trailer. I could be wrong on that though. I'm not 100%.
As of now, it's listed on IMDb as an R. And if it was going to have be edited for it, which I that's another thing that kind of crossed my mind too, but it wouldn't have that R rating listed. I mean, they could still do it, and it wouldn't shock me if they did. But I mean, that goes to the point I just brought up.
I don't know that they'd be able to do it with this, and the only reason why is I think the social media suicide angle, I just think the story in general is going to equal R.
But
it's a little too intense, maybe.
But why? But that's my problem. Why does the concept of suicide get an R? But you can kill 45 people and no one gives a shit that Iron Man did it, I'm just saying, it's so hypocritical the way the rating system is.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree.
And now the fact that they're just no one wants an R rating so bad, it's starting to feel like at what point is it going to be the touch of death?
What I'd like to see, I'm perfectly, because I think budgets in general now, and I know we're expanding the side rant, but I'm going to get back to the movie in a minute because I do have a lot more to say, but I think budgets need to come down. You can do a fantastic horror film for $1 million, or a lot less than that really, but a theatrical, good-looking, horror film with, solid cast and everything. You can do that for $1 million, $2 million. There's no problem. I mean, you can, shit, nowadays you can even probably get a name or two in it. But that's my thing. I'd rather see budgets come down, at least on the horror front. I mean, Marvel is pretty much going to rule, in terms of the blockbusters, but I don't think every movie can be like a $300 million Marvel movie.
Nope.
Nothing against that, but
you're never going to make your money back. No one makes the medium pictures, which is why so many of the Masters of Horrors disappeared from making films, because there was no middle movies getting made anymore. There's no...
Yeah, we need that.
Hell, even the whole $2 million budget argument, it's like, the thing is, we don't get any $20 million movies. It's either, and I'm not just talking horror, it's either we get those $2 million like indie movies that no one really cares about in the mainstream, or we get $500 million fucking Pirates movies that no one gives a shit about. There's no, $20, even $50 million middle movies that, stuff like Friend Request that, if they actually do well, they can make them a lot of money if they're spending $10 million on something like this versus, yeah, I know. So it's super side rant, but it's frustrating because, again, it takes another country to make something that is kind of in the middle and is an R to deliver the goods. I mean,
and mass appeal too. I mean, this isn't like a Serbian film or something that just a lot of people don't want to see.
Part of me thinks this Kiss of Death R is the reason we're getting Leatherface dumped to DirecTV first and then VOD.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming a problem. Studios don't want to take the risk. And, people are worried Leatherface might be bad because it's the studio doesn't have faith in spending the advertising money and all that other shit when, they can do online ads and DirecTV is a partner in that. They can throw on free ads on their own system. So it's like, it's frustrating.
And I don't mind that to a certain degree. But I would say this, like a good experiment, Friday the 13th. Shoot it for under $10 million. It can be much less than that, really, if you wanted to. But shoot it, give them freedom to just make the movie everybody wants to see. I guarantee you it will make a nice profit. It might make a shit ton. It's possible. But, it's just going to come down to taking risks. It's the random, even I'm going outside of the horror genre, but, it's stuff like, I think this was last year, but a movie like Captain Fantastic with Viggo Mortensen. That was an awesome movie. Just a really well-made movie. And nobody hears about it. And I always say this to the show. I'm like, look, dig a little bit. I mean, it's easy to find. There's great horror movies that are not being released in theaters, but even in theaters, if you're in the city area, like me, you'll find that theater that sometimes gets some of the more limited release films, and support them when they're good movies. Support them, and I think Friend Request is a good movie. I mean, it's not the most original, but it's kind of a movie that will appeal to teens and not put the adults to sleep. There's nothing particularly, if you're curious, maybe you have a teen or something, and it's nothing particularly horrible in this one. Like I said, the suicide angle, and there were some pretty disturbing images here. I love the black wasp angle to it.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I hope the box office is solid on this. I mean, I know it's not going to be a number one smash hit, but I really do hope it's solid enough that people will see, okay, R-rated films can still make money. But I really do.
Now here's the question, though. So before we give it a ratings number, is this one you would tell people, yes, it's worth, because another issue is the high cost of tickets. I mean, we're getting closer and closer to them trying to do that premium VOD, but is it worth, $15, $20 a head to go check this out?
Is it really 15 or 20 down there? It's not quite that bad here yet.
If we're talking non-matinee at a good theater. I'm not talking to shitbox AMC. Yeah, I mean, if you,
it's the food that jacks it up, but that's always been the case.
Yeah. But I mean, if you find the right theater, I mean, not discount wise, it's close to probably 12, 13. But
okay, I would be, if you like horror films, I'd be comfortable saying that this one. I do have one criticism. And it's not a big one. I just felt, let's just say the final confrontation, being vague, I felt it could have used a little more kick. Like it was kind of very like fast. You know what I mean? I'm dancing around it. If you've watched it, you might know what I mean. But when somebody goes down into a certain area, it felt like it ended a little fast. It felt like it could have used a little more kick. That was my only minor gripe. And how did you feel about the ending?
Yeah, I kind of get what you're going. Excuse me. Get where you're going with that. I was okay with it, especially now with everyone seems to go too over on the endings. I was fine with it. It was a perfect no. Did it work? I think so.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. That was just my thing. I don't know.
No, I get
it might
that.
be a little harder to do a sequel. I would have liked to have seen it continue. Again, absolutely getting into spoilers if I elaborate anymore. But, yeah, like I said, I can't, even if you're a little iffy about this, I can't see a lot of people hating this one. I mean, it was a pretty more than solid film, and God knows if you because I know a few people that did. If you really enjoyed stuff like Bye Bye Man or Wish Upon, if you do like those movies, and not insulting you at all, then you should definitely like this, because I think it's a lot better, much better actually. And yeah, it felt like an actual adult movie. So, yeah, for me, I give this one a 4 out of 5. It's not perfect. It doesn't – I think actually with the finale it might have even gotten bumped a little higher if it just had a little more pizzazz to it. But I liked it a lot. If you don't see it in theaters, I mean, I definitely recommend it for a rental. And I like the lead actress, actually. She's great on Fear the Walking Dead, and I thought she was really good here. And
yeah.
I don't know. I think that bully, not bully. I don't know why I'm saying bullying. I'm thinking of you, Todd. It's because you're on the other line. You JBL me all the time, and I'm thinking.
I do.
I like the fact that this was not the traditional, people bullying the girl. It's more, it wasn't as cliche as I expected it might be. Actually it was kind of interesting because she's really the tormentor. I mean, she's kind of the unreasonable one here. Nobody really does anything to her. So there were a lot of things I liked about this one. What say you, Todd?
I'm actually exactly on par with you. I did really dig this one. I definitely think it's worth. If you want to go out to the theater and see something that's not a remake or the blockbuster spectacle, that's just a good, entertaining horror film, I definitely say go check out Friend Request, and I give it a 4 out of 5 also. Awesome.
All right, so moving on to our second review for the evening, which this one's due out in September also, right, from Scream Factory, or is this one November? I think this one's still a ways away.
It's
yeah. Through Scream Factory.
They only distribute them on home video. They don't get credit for when they make a good No. I am well, it's currently on VOD and in limited release. Home video release date, I'm not sure that's been announced.
No, it is, because I have it pre-ordered. I just couldn't remember. I think it's November 7th, actually. Yeah, it's definitely up on Amazon.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's so I'm very curious to talk about this one, actually. And so this one is an Australian film, I should say, and I love Australian cinema, not just horror. I like Australian cinema in general. And this one's from director Damien Power, and it follows a couple, Sam and Ian, take off on what they believe will be a peaceful camping trip can't remember the campground. Never mind, I botched that. Their break turns into a battle for survival when they discover a bloody toddler wandering around in the bush and find that an incredibly disturbing crime has been committed. Okay, so expanding a little bit on the synopsis there, I'm sorry, because obviously I don't have a physical copy of this one yet because it's not out. But this one... It starts with this couple that's going to camp, and they can't make it to the campsite they want to go to because they don't have 4-wheel drive, and this hunter type guy gives them advice to go to this other area. Never a good sign. They probably should have known something was coming there, and they do. And it also follows a family. It jumps around between this other family that's camping there, a couple with their said baby and teen daughter, and it jumps around between the three groups, Shuk and German, I think was his name, the two hunter types, the family and the couple. And it's non-linear. It kind of jumps around a little bit in terms of its storyline structure, and it's a familiar story in a lot of ways. I don't know how much I want to say, but it's backwoods horror. A lot of torture and rape and destruction. And even though it's very familiar, it is told in a different way, and I liked that. Yeah. What did you think, Todd? Because this is, in one way, very routine, yet not, because of the way they tell the story.
Yeah, like I mentioned to you off air, and actually the same could be said for both films. There was a lot of familiar territory, but it was done different and well enough that it made for a very entertaining experience. And there is something, as you brought up, I mean, I'm a fan of Australian cinema also, and also not just horror. And, of course, the exploitation, but that's a whole other thing. It's, the way this one came off, it just worked. I mean, I like the fact that we kind of jumped around and we're kind of getting to feeling everything out, and there were some genuine, tense moments throughout.
Yeah, it's actually a very brutal film, but it doesn't show a lot. I mean, it earns its R rating for sure, but very brutal, particularly the smashing against the tree, I believe it was, or ground scene. That was like, oh wow, holy shit, they went there. But yeah, a lot of the sexual assaults mostly take place off screen. Sorry, Todd.
I know. And yet I still liked it. But let's be real. If they would have been on, it probably would have been a favorite.
Todd just thought maybe he missed it. He started rewinding it. It was like it just wasn't there. It was Richard Simmons looking for a clitoris. I mean, it just wasn't. Wasn't going to find it.
I was like, did we get an edited version?
I didn't mind. I mean, I get maybe why they didn't revel in some of that. And there was, like I said, again, I'm not going to spoil it, but there was that one shot in particular that they really don't show it at all, but it was just really quick, and I was like, oh, wow, that is that's brutal. And it does. Everything kind of connects. And I kind of like the non-linear structure that they had in this one. It's not a classic because, I mean, when it really comes down to it, you have seen this before. I did enjoy the actors. I thought Aaron Peterson in particular, who I think that was his name. Aaron Peterson, who played German, I think is how you pronounce it, the bearded psychopath. It was great. He was actually in a film called Mystery Road a while back, a few years ago, kind of an Australian kind of modern-day Western thriller that was a great movie. I was a big fan of his. Didn't know he was in this, so it was kind of cool seeing him. And, I mean, this isn't Last House on the Left. I mean, you're not maybe seeing all of the depravity that some people might want out of this, but you get enough. One thing I wanted to point out about this, I liked that this was more, it had realistic reactions to some of the, trauma on screen, particularly the boyfriend, who some might say was a little cowardly here and there. I mean, he didn't necessarily jump right to the rescue, but I actually thought that was kind of realistic because, I mean, let's be honest, in a lot of those situations, a lot of us would be paralyzed by fear, and I kind of like that too. It's definitely another one, as we made a point, because I didn't even know. Shit, you're right, they covered it well. I didn't know Friend Request was actually a German film, but same thing here. I mean, sometimes it takes the overseas market to give us something, a little spin on a familiar territory.
There's two ways you do that. I just got to say, with the Friend Request and thing, you can do it where you try to do it and fail, Troll 2, or you can do it where you try to do it and succeed, like Friend Request. I dug it. And, the whole thing about some of these movies, we make a lot of jokes about it. Todd's Mr. White Van. These movies, when you have the sexual violence, it's very easy to put yourself in those situations. I'm not going to call this a rape revenge movie. That's just an element of it. But, survival films, and, they're simple, but they work really well. And my God. I just thought of the next Rape Shark.
You did? I guess we should say, for people that didn't listen last week, there was a new phenomenon born on the show called Rape Shark, which you may actually be able to buy Rape Shark prints at some point from us. We're still working. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a big cartel store. But yes, I'm kind of curious to see what that is now, Todd. Oh, you just told me. Okay.
I did.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, maybe like a little banjo and straw in the mouth sort of thing. I think I just gave it away with banjo, but yeah, that would work.
Son of a bitch.
I don't know. I don't know if we're going to make that. I don't know if that'll ever become a movie, to be honest. But
I'm telling you, it's going to be our Tusk.
If we do it, Kyle has got to voice Rape Shark. He's got to voice it. And in the trailer, it's got to end with the threat is real. Then the shark is jumping out of the water with the fucking heart on. That's how it's got to end. But anyway, I'm really dying to see what your final art looks like on the actual, not the parody, but the actual movie poster. I'm dying to see that. But yes, this one, again, if this genre is a little rough for some of you, again, there is a lot that's not on screen. There's some threat there, but a lot of the actual assaults are off screen. And the acting, I think, is top notch. Australian films never feel cheap. I mean, they're usually always competently made, and this is another case of, I think, a fantastic film. I would not be shocked at all if the director goes on to do bigger and better things. There's a couple spoilery things I guess I could talk about, but I don't want to spoil the movie. So yeah, this one I really liked it a lot. I'm slightly lower than Friend Request on it, and I'm at a 3.5. But I do highly recommend you check it out. I still think it's very well made, but it is familiar, and there are better examples of the genre. But nonetheless, I still think this is a good one.
I'm a little higher. I give it a 4. I get your reasons. It's just, it was a really, I don't know, maybe it was just nice that we weren't, it was nice to see two new movies that were really, really good.
Yeah, no, I really like the movie, and again, not getting into spoilers. There were, I know there's one complaint going around about something that was not resolved, and that's not why I'm a little lower. I'm just a little lower because I would have liked to have seen a little more the teen daughter. I would have liked to have seen that developed a little bit more, maybe be some more, I don't know, back and forth, some suspense with her. There were some different ways I felt they could have wrapped this up a little differently. I'll put it that way. I kind of wanted to give this one a 4 too, but there are a few little things that kind of kept me there. But a 3.5 is a damn good rating, so I would definitely check it out.
I agree.
So there we go. So we're almost at our halfway point. I'm very curious to see the next Rape Shark installment, which, I don't know, Todd, maybe Sci-Fi will get edgy, and next year, Shark Week, you're going to get
I don't know.
Rape Shark.
We got to submit our trademark now. I don't know what's coming. Someone's going to snatch that from us. I already laid out too good of a reason why that we're going to get jacked if we don't.
Go for it.
I could have went the low budget way where the ghost of Krug, possessed the shark, but that would be Last Shark on the Left end.
Yes. I should actually point out, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're making a movie." I'm like, no. I learned my lesson on that.
I'm trying to turn Dan.
You're what?
I'm trying to turn Dan so he wants to make it.
You're gonna JBL me into getting back into that shit.
I am.
I don't know. I every once in a while I'll have a small itch to do it. It's just my movie experience was literally like every shitty, every stupid, every I could write a book on what not to do when getting into, producing, writing a movie. Really, it's a checklist. I hit almost every box on stuff I experienced over the three that actually got made and came out, I should say. But like I said, Todd, you or Chris, I would do whatever. So I don't know. I'm not gonna direct anything, but I'd probably write again, possibly. And I don't mind acting. I've had a couple. I'm not going to say it on air, but I'll have to actually tell you about one that somebody wanted me to do. But we are at our halfway point. So we do have a song tonight. One of them, well, they're all offensive. One is super offensive. I don't know, Todd. You can pick.
That's the one that's the one I picked. The last one you said.
Well, of course.
So we might as well just say After Dark starting now, even though we won't play the opening theme until we come back from song. So yeah, basically, if you don't want to hear about some good old American East Coast smut, you might as well just come back next week. It's
very smutty, so we're picking a smutty but funny song to lead into it because this was a very smutty. I don't know if that's a word. I'm going to trademark that too. I'm just going to say it's more smutty than normal tonight. So here we go.
All right. We'll be back in about 4.5 minutes.
I want to rate
WhatIsWorld.com.
I want to rate
Ali.
I want to rate girls at the city park, at the kitty bar, driving a shitty car. I want to rate Eva Longoria so hard. I want to rate girls at the KFC, giving chicken to me with extra skinny cheese. I want to rate the crazy actor mom 8 times. Jessica Simpson, Demi Lovato, Janet Jackson, her monkey bubbles, Mila Kunis, Keira Knightley, Miley Cyrus, and Alicia Keys. Megan Family Guy, and all the real housewives. The whole party of five. That's all Karen's I want to rate Mary, Kate, and Ashley, Halle Berry, Katy Perry. I want to rate Kate and Penelope Cruz. Wow. I want to rate Erin on CNN, Greta Van Susteren, and that one lesbian, and also rate that hot Republican on The View. No, Selena Gomez, Lindsay Lohan, Eva Mendes, all the teen moms, Julianne Hough, Kate Middleton, Julianne Moore, and Mark Simpson. Deborah Chloe, Scarlett Johansson, and Wendy Williams, and everything that's not dancing with the stars. I want to rate Jessica Alba, Sharon Mosta. I want to rate Anna Kournikova. I want to rate Harris Sanders, Jay Weller. I want to rate Holly Madison. I want to rate
911 emergency.
I was just raped.
Ma'am, what were you wearing at the time?
Nothing. I was naked.
That's pretty slutty, ma'am. Did your rapist pull out?
Yeah.
Well, that's not legitimate rape, ma'am. Goodbye.
Natalie Portman, almost certain the Queen of England, and every little girl I tolerate. When I go home, what I do, I want to rate. I want to rate. I want to rate. I want to rate. I want to rate.
Todd?
We are back. Sorry about the delay.
We are back. Todd, I told you, don't shake it more than once, damn it.
I'm blaming Blog Talk.
I don't think that was Blog Talk. I think that was, I'm going to blame you on that one. I have a feeling Todd was doing something. He got, I don't know what it was.
I just love that song.
Hashtag blame Todd.
All right, wait. We're going to pretend that didn't happen, and we're just going to go into After Dark, if I can find the right button. And
the following program is intended for mature audiences.
And now we're back.
And we're back. Nothing happened. No technical difficulties. Todd wrote the lyrics, by the way, so if anybody, is mad, direct your comments towards Todd.
And Dan picked the song, so he's a fan.
Todd drives a convertible, and he likes just pulling up next to somebody with that blaring, and then just staring at him at the stoplight. It's hilarious. It's actually not a bad idea for Halloween, Todd. What are you doing this year for Halloween? Are you Leatherface again? Are you doing the old classic, or are you changing it up?
I think I'm going to finally attempt part 3 this year. The Saw is the hardest part, and I think I found a way to create it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Is our weapon-creating friend helping you with that?
No. Yeah. It takes more than duct tape and what did he say? He said, I can't remember. Sorry, Tanky.
I know.
Duct tape, garbage, and something else. CDs? No. I've donated quite a bit to the tool shed, so.
There you go. Wow.
That helmet put to use, Tanky, so he better get on it.
Yeah, I was going to suggest you're tall. You could do Herman Munster. Oh, I guess you want to scare the shit out of people, but I was going to say, you're tall enough. You could pull off Herman Munster.
Yeah. Well, I like Leatherface.
Yeah, I know. It's an old classic. I'm thinking about
my fucking. I'm getting old. My fucking ankle hurts, so it'll give me a reason to do the limp if I do part 3.
There you go. Take advantage of that. I'm determined to dress up this year. I'm just determined. It always sucks because I'm always single around Halloween. No matter what, I'm just not dating somebody around the holiday time. So I'm like, God, I need to fucking meet someone. I'm going to just use the show now to try and find a girlfriend, Todd. Hashtag find Dan a girlfriend. You need to get on that, Todd.
All right.
Only it's me. It has to be consensual, Todd. I don't want some bow on some girl that's been gagged or something and roofied. That's not me. That's you, Todd.
All right. Well, just hit on every girl that likes the Rape Shark page that's single, or the Rape Shark page.
There you go, Todd. You got to make it. I was going to say it's going to be like that. For you, it's going to be like Christmas Vacation, only it's going to be instead of Randy Quaid wrapping up the dude, Chevy Chase's boss, it's just going to be some girl, I don't know, you and Tanky wrap her up in barbed wire and she shows up on my front doorsteps or something. It'll be the creepy version of Christmas Vacation. But anyway, one day we're going to do a show with no sexual assault jokes. It's going to be hard, but we will try. So anyways, and then of course we're going into this this triple feature. So yes. All right. So this is a triple feature. Some of them might be lumped together a little bit on this one because these are very plot light, sex heavy. And it's a triple feature, all films, all from the same year, 1975, and the same director, Ralph L. They are New York City XXX films, very very non-PC, very at times sexy, at times fucking gross. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll take them one by one. They're all barely over an hour, so that's why I think we have 3 on this Peakorama instead of 2. The first one is called My Master, My Love, and follows Darby Lloyd Rains, who stars as a vicious dominatrix who lives with her beautiful slave girl, Roberta. When her brother comes to visit, he immediately becomes smitten with the slave and plots to steal her away. This one, I guess I could probably go as far to say as this is from an erotic film point of view, this is probably the sexiest. It's very lesbian heavy, so obviously, as Todd knows, that works for me. It's a theme in these films. They're all very, very sleazy, very dirty. We'll get it. I think this was probably the least gross, and that's not necessarily an insult because there's some funny stuff that you just probably don't really want to see. This one, there's no story to speak of, really. I mean, it's basically this lesbian dominatrix. She's got her slave girl Roberta, and the brother comes in, who probably one of the more humorous bits is he's like bitching about he's kind of like a conservative type character bitching about liberal New York City, yet he still manages to bang his sister's girlfriend, bang a prostitute. He gets over that pretty fast in this movie. And like I said, it's a very lesbian centric porno. They're all a lot of S&M and a lot of rimming in this triple feature. That's like a theme, and a lot of interracial. That's kind of a theme throughout the 3 movies. That must have been Robert L's thing. A lot of rimming, which isn't necessarily a bad thing in this movie. We'll get to the other ones. A lot of interracial and S&M. Definitely, they all go together. And I did want to point out, Annie Sprinkle is in this one. She's actually in 2 of the films. She's not one I really watched growing up, like my first porn movies, but I do like her work. Devil Inside Her, of course, a big one. Todd, what did you think of this one?
Yeah, I agree. It was, I don't want to say my favorite of the bunch, but it was the, I don't know, most.
It's the one you'll whack it to.
Okay, we'll go with that. It was the most erotic of the bunch. I'll go with that. It was the least smutty, as you put it. But even, it's one of those things, as I've called out numerous times, that's not the reason we're watching for it. And while this may not have been the overly humorous stuff we tend to really look for I really look for from that era, it still is just a nice East Coast sleaze to it that you don't see anymore.
Mm.
I mean, that comment actually goes to the trilogy of these tonight, all 3. But and I think that's part of what gives them their charm.
Mm. Well, and I think it also had a couple funny bits. I thought the bit where Margaret, the dom lesbian, when she throws her panties at Roberta and lets her sniff them, I guess is a reward. It's hard to explain. You got to watch it. It was funny. And I also thought it was funny, and this is another weird theme that kind of came up in one of the other movies, where Roberta randomly, when she's kind of playing the voyeur and peeping in on Margaret's client, she starts fucking a chair. I thought that was pretty funny because somebody tries to fuck something even weirder, and the other films. So, how to rate this? As I always say, does it work as a porno? Yes. A couple funny bits. This is definitely the most erotic of the bunch because people might be buying these for multiple different reasons, so it's always tricky to give it a review. Yeah, I give it a 3. It's above average. It does its job, and it's short too. These ones are definitely short. There's very little story.
I am actually 3 on this one also. Agree with pretty much everything.
Awesome. So keeping this going, we have our second film, all from '75, same director, Ralph L. And this one is Teenage Masseuse, which makes no sense. The title makes no sense at all, but there is a massage sequence, I guess. But this one follows a bored housewife who has fallen out of love with their husband and takes a job as a Times Square call girl. Can anything rekindle the love she once had for her husband? So this one, I have the name. Go for it.
I have to just say, out of the gate, see, it's called Teenage Masseuse because that sounds much better than Divorcee Streetwalker. Just saying, which is going to drag the pervs in.
Hey, we would have both watched Divorcee Streetwalker, Todd. Let's be honest.
I don't know. I'm not arguing, but I don't think the MILF genre was ready.
You're talking to the guy who made a movie about, well, they really weren't, but wrote a movie about older women fighting zombies. So, it would work for me. I would buy Divorcee Streetwalker anytime. She's not a divorcee, though, but, but yes, so this one features Bobby Astor, who plays the husband. Always a good performer. He's a lot of times does the goofy comedic roles, although he plays sleazeball really well too. And Nancy Dare, who I believe is her name, I'm not as familiar with her. I know her, but she's not somebody that I've followed closely. But I think Nancy Dare was the name of the wife in this one. And all right, she was obviously maybe the Sasha Grey or, who once licked a toilet seat of her generation and would do just about everything. In this movie, she fucks a ceramic elephant. There is a line in there where she's going, unwind that trunk, unwind that trunk. She gets attacked by a creepy voyeur and fights for all about 1.5 seconds before she's sucking his dick. And it gets really gross when she meets a pimp. And that's where we start the theme of this triple feature, and that is dudes getting rim jobs. Now, I don't know about you, but it's not a big turn on to see some big, hairy dude getting his brown eye polished. Some of you, it might be. And if it is, I would definitely buy this triple feature. But yeah, it's going to lose a star for that. I have to say. Todd, what did you think? Maybe you're into that, Todd. I don't know.
Yeah, no, not my thing. Seems like it's in the wrong genre, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be as bad now with everyone all lasered and hairless. I have no idea. But in 30 plus years ago, yeah, I'm going to take a pass. Film itself, besides the anal rimming, I mean, it was solid. I preferred My Master, My Love to this one, and it's
you don't have a lot to say about it, do you?
I don't. You covered everything. It's got a basic setup, not super plot heavy. not. Yeah, I'm just gonna rate it. I don't have a lot.
And I should point out, for hairy rimjob enthusiasts, Annie Sprinkle also does justify the massage storyline, and she rims a very old-looking dude that I don't know, looks like he should be managing. I don't know, an Applebee's somewhere. It was just very disturbing. I like Annie Sprinkle, but yeah, that was there is hairy old man anus in this, and that knocked it down a little for me. But what say you, Todd?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
There you go.
It's
I'm actually a little lower. I give this
okay.
I give this particular movie a 2. The only reason, it's not that I didn't enjoy it, but I don't know, the erotic portion of this didn't do a whole lot for me. But some of it was funny. Like, if you can handle a little bit of gross sex, there's hair on the one girl's armpit. It's it was the 70s, the mid 70s. But I got a few laughs out of it. I don't know. I still like the set, but this particular movie gets a 2 for me.
Yeah, I agree. All right,
and
well, we have one more of the triple feature.
One more called More. Kind of the Lease-inspired title for a porn. It's just called More. Also from 1975, same director. And this one follows a detective, played by the legendary Harry Reams, is on the case of a man who was murdered, reportedly by the mob. Using his wife as undercover sexual bait, they plan a trap for the hitman responsible. Okay, so this is another one, very light on plot, very, very light on plot. Todd, what did you think of this one? Because I know I took the maybe 10 seconds of plot on the other ones. What did you think of this one?
This one, I definitely the most plot heavy. I mean, and I kind of like the setup and the story, and Harry Reams is always entertaining. But, it goes back to some of the sex isn't the most appealing, just a preference. And but I mean overall, I thought it was solid. I thought there was some humorous dialogue. But the actual sex itself was kind of, I don't know if this, and I kind of said this to you off air. I'm more of a West Coast guy when it comes to
to porno.
The classic era. I think we won that East Coast West Coast war. So because you don't ever.
You mean you didn't enjoy the DP scene while the girl ate the banana, like an actual banana, not a cock?
Yes, no. Well, of course. I mean, that was classic.
That's talent. You would think you'd have to focus, so you wouldn't. I got some laughs out of this one, actually.
I did.
It was weird seeing Harry Reams in this, actually. This seemed a little small for him, because these were obscure. I hadn't seen any of these. I mean, they were pretty obscure. I don't even know if the first two, to be honest. I mean, I didn't recognize those at all. Not even a scene from them. But yeah, this one does have. Reams is definitely the highlight. I liked his "I'll give you a banana up your backside if you answer my questions." I thought that was funny. It is kind of gross too. I mean, there's a scene where the pimp comes in the one girl's hand and makes the other girl eat it out of the hand. So this is not a couple friendly porn. These are very sleazy, dirty. I enjoyed them, but very sleazy, dirty porn films.
These
These
are crank them out quick, give the bum somebody to stroke to in the grindhouse.
Yeah, there you go. I'm kind of picturing this one how it played in the grindhouse because I can kind of see, I can kind of see that being a little creepy, sitting there watching some of these sex scenes. So, all right, so I guess we might as well go ahead and just rate this particular movie. I got a couple good laughs out of this one. I give this one a 3. What say you, Todd?
I'm exactly on par on this one also. I give it a 3. Myself, it's.
And I recommend it because you get.
I know, I do too. For the value and everything, I do too. I definitely think if you're a fan of the golden, well, I don't know if it's golden era. If you're a fan of this era of sleaze, it'll definitely.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like
porn that makes you need to take a shower after.
Yeah, I mean, what doesn't most for different reasons. But that's another story.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, that. But this one actually, it's like you need to wash your soul off. But that's all good. So yeah, I recommend the set. I
pushed that like 30 seconds ago. The board was lagging. See, I told you Blog Talk's messing with us.
I know. They're on to us. They're tired. They're gonna like boot us off. You guys are just too fucked up, and we're gonna have to find somewhere else.
You take your thing and put it up that thing.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. See, Bridget the Midget would have been good in this, but it was before her time. She could have. I don't know. She did. She actually took on the John Holmes role, and well, not literally, but she did and Harry Reams role, referring to this one, of a PI. I can't remember what it was called, but she actually was a private detective in one movie. I'll have to pick that up because I want to say there's some funny sound clips from that, Todd, that you can put on the board sometime. But yeah. We need to do we need to bring her on at some point, Todd. I think she does the strip club rounds now. She doesn't make movies anymore, but she does the strip club rounds. That'd be an interesting interview.
Yeah.
We're keeping her legacy alive.
Well,
remind me to send you the grossest midget clip you have ever seen in your life, by the way. I keep thinking about it.
I will take a pass.
Todd, you got to watch it. You have to. It's disgusting, but like just you may not have sex for a couple weeks, but I do want to. And you got, Todd, it's fucking haunting. Bad. Like I happened across it, and I wish I didn't look, but I did, and it's fucking nasty. I'm gonna send it to you anyways. I tried to trick Chris into watching it, but that didn't work. But yeah, I think I tried to trick you too, didn't I?
Yeah. Now I'm never watching another video you send me. Damn it,
I'm just gonna. I can trick you, Todd. I can just label it like hot lesbians, and then you click on it. My brother used to do that. My older brother used to fuck with me. He signed me up. Literally, he did this this was over a decade ago. But he signed me up on some site in Europe and made me I guess a man whore. And I started getting these emails from these weird Eastern European women that wanted to book me and stuff. And I finally figured out what he did. He used to do some horrible shit, some shit I can't even.
That is awesome.
I don't know. He did. Well, I met some clients. Had fun with it, but
I think I
didn't.
I think I need to talk to your brother, and I have some enemies that need to become man horse.
Yeah, it took a while. I had to change emails. I just fucking abandoned that email because he signed up for like all sorts of weird shit. That's how I actually found out, I think, about Bridget the Midget. She was like early in his career, and he signed me up for like midget porn, and some of it was fucking disgusting. I mean, there was some weird shit, and he just delighted in doing that. But that's why he doesn't have all my contact info anymore.
Gotta love family.
You gotta love family, of course. But yeah, I could have pulled off a good Deuce Bigalow, Todd. We need to do that. Maybe we can remake it.
And actually make a good film?
I liked Deuce Bigalow, not the second one. I actually thought Deuce Bigalow was funny. You have that hatred of Rob Schneider. I don't with him. Not that his movies are very good, all of them, most of them, but Deuce Bigalow was good.
Maybe I'll revisit it or not. We'll see.
Well, anyways, we are out of time tonight. Well, we're not really out of time. We're ending a little bit early. Todd has editing duties, and I know next week's lineup is tentative because for once you got your Vinegar Syndrome before me, which is very odd.
I know.
But I know we're going to have a Vinegar Syndrome heavy show next week. I don't know if we're reviewing it all or if it'll be a mixture. What we may have, but we will be back next Thursday, and I don't know. We're planning. I know we're planning out some of our Halloween stuff. We'll have a lot of cool, different stuff for Halloween. I know we're going to do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre show, so we can review Leatherface, but we'll also do a sort of a retrospective, and we'll probably focus a little bit on the Michael Bay films. Todd's going to revisit them and kind of have You have to, Todd. Who knows? You might be softened on them now. You never know.
I want to watch them first just so I can get them out of the way. We'll
see. Who knows? You revisit some stuff and you end up loving it.
At least I don't have to end with those. I like 3D, so maybe if I watch them in the order they were released, I can. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. So anyways, we will see you guys next week. And Todd, unless there's anything else you want to plug, we can send them home. I don't know. Maybe we can play one of those other short songs. Because I mentioned the Glee XXX last week. And
I didn't put those
on
the board yet.
Oh, no worries.
Not on the board yet.
I put you on the hook for no reason.
You did.
Next week.
Son of a bitch. All right, what's it go out on? The greatest shark song ever made?
Ooh.
Nah.
Okay.
No.
They're already tuned out now, Todd. Who cares?
No. All right, we'll be back next week. Good night.
See you next week, guys.
It's here.
Hello?
Have you checked the children?
They're all pot dolls. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep. I'm afraid.
Don't be afraid.
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Here's Gingy.
Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. Gentlemen, I am pain.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
You think that when you die, you go to heaven. You come to us.